right, Shabbat Shalom Aleichem,
Shabbat Shalom Aleichem.
and welcome to another one of our testimonial videos that is of and from the Sister Lodge. As we are now live on YouTube, so what we're going to do is go over to Facebook, and we're also going to say, now that we're live on Facebook, Shabbat Shalom Aleichem.
Shabbat Shalom Aleichem.
And with that said, we're now confirmed to be on both social media networks. That's known as YouTube and Facebook, two of the most popular. That's also affiliated with Instagram, which is another popular social media network, as well as TikTok and Twitter, just to name two more. And we want to thank our Heavenly Father, Yod, for making it possible for us today to be able to have these social media websites that you are able to view in a audio and video recording, that you'll also be able to hear what's being said. As always, I am your host of this testimonial Indite. That's Indite. That is from the Social Lodge. And my name was not known to this world, still is not known, as I walked this planet and still is walking this planet incognito with appellations opposed to names, just as my Ab did. Now, before I go any further, I'm going to testify to you that my Ab, that's Olive Beth. I'd like for you to write that down. And speaking of writing down, let's do the formality now, not benediction. If you're going to join us today, you are going to need, first of all, your King James Version Holy Bible. If you do not have a King James Version Holy Bible, please grab the closest replica that you can of that version of 1611, the Authorized Edition. The 1611 Authorized Edition of the King James Version Holy Bible. And one of the closest to that version is called the Gideon Version. I believe that too was published by Tom and Nelson's Publishers of Nashville, Tennessee. So if you don't have the King James Version of 1611 or Gideon, then you can also resort to the New King James Version Bible. They say new, so you can grab that. We would also like for you to grab your Strong's Exhaustive Concordance by James Strong, as well as a dictionary or two, an encyclopedia, a set of encyclopedias if you have that, a synonym finder by Jerome Irving Rodell, and a collegiate or unabridged dictionary if you have that. The items that I'm naming right now and calling off with a list are known as study tools that you should have in your library. Those who are scholars and has been scholars even in front of mine since 1979, as he first came to Miami of Florida, to this city where I'm sitting right now, a small suburb that's known as Brownsville, in Miami-Dade County of Florida. 1979, walked in, who was known only at the time with another appellation known as Moses Israel. And finally, among your study tools, and most importantly, I'm going to ask you to grab something to write with, something to write on. A note tablet would be sufficient. If not, grab an envelope, junk mail around the back of that. You just grab something very quickly. With that said, That'll be the first thing I want you to write down. Ab. Ab in Hebrew, from right to left, is Aleph Beth. Aleph Beth. In English, it's known as A-B. That's Ab. That will be found in your strong concordance on the reference H1. H1, Ab. That means father in Hebrew. Then you have the O-U-T. You have the O-U-T. Ma'ab is the great man that perished out of the earth. I must testify of him for a moment. He's also known as the Grand Master of the Celestial Lodge, and that's who I am from and where I am from. I am from the Celestial Lodge of the Cosmos. Hebrew, far from beyond this planet. You cannot find it. It's another planet, far from beyond this planet. The cosmos, intergalactic, another galaxy. The Celestial Lodge of Mount Ab, Aleph Beth. They have placed upon him the Tetragrammaton, known as Yod He Wav He. You'll see that around my neck on this video recording in a gold circle. A gold circle, 3 Hebrew characters, 3. One of the 3, of course, is positioned twice from right to left, Yod He Wav He. And that's the Tetragrammaton that they have placed upon Ma'ab as a name, and that is not his name. It's an appellation. That means the door, the way, the truth, and the life. And that will explain the 4 positions. 3 Hebrew characters, 1 position twice. 4 positions, 4 words. The door, the way, the truth, and the life. And we're all in a circle. See, it's in a circle. That circle is part of you. That circle is a part of you. And that would be a symbol of the English's alphabet known as U. It's a homophone. So you have Aleph Beth or AB. You have us in a circle. That's a part of you. And I am the truth, the spirit of truth. I'm the truth. So when you put those together, if you're writing this down as you were asked to do so, I cannot make you do it. So you have AB space. And then you have O-U-T. And that's why I separated, because I'm not going to leave my Ab out of this testimony. If you look at that very closely, you have AB, Ab, and you have O-U-T, out. And that's why I'll never talk about him. You will never hear me speaking or testifying about my Ab, because I will never leave my Ab out of my testimonies. Now, if you put the B together with the O, then what do you have? About. That's why this time I'll also remind those who would like to know that I do not mind at all that you write about me, talk about me, testify about me, sing about me, scold about me, ridicule about me. I do not mind that. I do not mind you saying anything or doing anything about me. I don't mind that, as long as you leave my Ab out. Leave my Ab out. And that's all you can do. All you can do is talk about me. Why? Because you know nothing of me. Nothing. You know absolutely nothing of me. That's OF. The other circle of infinity. Of me. Got it?
Yeah.
Okay. Now that we have that out of the way, we know the difference between about and Ab out and of. And only those that are with me know of me. And when I say with me, that don't necessarily mean physically. Although there are European scholars and those in Europe right now, and those in the Washington District of Columbia and the White House, they know of me. They have documents of me. And some took it upon themselves to take documents of me to their private homes and become us, documents of us. They called classified information. And there's a reason for that. They want to keep us a secret, or they want to keep us as science fiction. Even have an appellation that they call aliens from another planet, alien beings. As I continue on now, testifying of my known as God, the mighty God. That is who my Father is. The Grand Master of the Celestial Lodge, architect of the universe, the blessed and only potentate, and the founder of the nation of Yod Hed Wav He. The nation of Yod Hed Wav He has nothing to do with Israel. The nation of Yod Hed Wav He, I repeat, has absolutely nothing to do with Israel. Israel is a nation all of itself that consists of 12 tribes. I am in the United States with the fourth tribe that has been joined with the third tribe of Israel, known as the fourth tribe is Yehuda in Hebrew, or Hebrew translation into English, Yehuda. That's the fourth tribe that was taken captive and placed in bondage that began in the 16th century of this time and era, also known historically as Negro slaves. Slaves that were placed in bondage and brought to America, landed on Plymouth Rock, Jamestown, Virginia, in the 16th century, 1555, and prolonged their bondage even to this day. That has been given a different appellation, now known as African Americans, or the so-called Black man of America, as well as their women. So what we have here in America today is a tribe of Judah, known as African Americans, Negroes, colored people, slaves in bondage of the United States of North America. They are also the children of God. According to Deuteronomy chapter 14 and verse 1, they are holy people, but they are not of the Celestial Lodge. Neither are they of the nation of Yod Hed Wav He. The nation of Yod Hed Wav He are celestial beings, also known as angels, and they are not of this planet. Every member of the nation of Yod Hed Wav He is an angel. And if you want to see Mount Ob again, you must certainly have to be an angel of Yod Hed Wav He. I have a choice to take those with me who are obedient, humble, moral, and righteous of the nation of Yod Hed Wav He, of the nation of Israel, all 12 tribes, as well as the nation of Yod Hed Wav He. There are some angels that went astray, as they did before. There are some angels that have joined Hallel, even up in our homeland planet. They joined Hallel like a third, and they joined him as they wanted to overthrow the Celestial Lodge and take it over. A lot of scholars today, theological scholars, theologians, have confused that what they would call a coup of heaven, kuta, a coup. They're confusing that with a war that had not happened yet until this time, that's found in Revelation chapter 12. That's going to be my subject today, as well as his revelation that has never been revealed before. Why? Because it was sealed. But I want to testify to you that my Ab is God. He is the God of all gods. Every nation on this planet made gods of their own. Every one of them made nations and made gods of their own. They made their own nations. We didn't make the nations, they did. And they put them in the houses of the high places that the Samaritans had made, according to Second Chronicles. Actually, First Kings 17:29 is that Second Kings. Second Kings 17:29.
Mm-hmm.
They made gods of their own. Why? Because they have no God.
Mm-hmm.
Although my Father is God and made them. My Father made them. My Art made them, all nations. But they were not satisfied with that, so they wanted to become God. And because of that, they made a God of their own and did not accept him and still do not accept him as their God. So they made one of their own. Put them in high places that are called church today, in the Vatican of Rome. The Pope of this Vatican of Rome is also a God to his Catholic people.
Mm-hmm.
Billions of Catholics, he has become their God. Wrong skin complexion, but doesn't matter. The God that created the universe, the architect of the universe, Mount Og, is known as a black skin complexion being, celestial being. And that would bring me to the title of this video recording today. The title of this testimony today is, and I quote, Michael of Revelation is the black man. No one knew that. See, the book was sealed. And speaking of book, the book that is called Revelation is not part of the Bible at all.
Mm-hmm.
It was found by theologians throughout history and placed in their Bible in the back. Why? Because it's going to be first. The first shall be last, the last first. So they placed it in the back to make you think it's last, but it's not. It's first. And that's because it's going to be the first book that I loose the seals and identify the components and the mysteries and cryptic messages that are found in those scrolls. The book that is called Revelation is a diary, a cryptic diary of and from the Social Lodge that was sealed for me to loose today as I return. And I'm the only one that can do it. You can find that at Revelation chapter 5, beginning at verse 1 through 5.
Mm-hmm.
I am the Lion of, not from. I am the Lion of the tribe of Judah. If you look at my facial expression, you can see a lion's face on the screen.
Mm-hmm.
And the same complexion of a lion, which is bronze in complexion, as I said I would be. So I testified to you now for the past few moments about he's God. He was here, walking amongst us in the flesh, that they only knew and still only know today by an appellation. He left with the most infamous appellation of today that's known as in English, and I quote, Yahweh, Ben, Yahweh, end quote, in English, which is not a name, it's a meaning, as he brought me here with him to this planet. In Hebrew, is known from right to left as Yod-Heh-Wav-Heh, Beth Nusofe, Yod-Heh-Wav-Heh, and it means God, the Son of God. Now, if you mix that a little bit with some common sense, just a little bit of common sense mixed with that, then you will discover that it is impossible. It's virtually impossible, historically, biblically, and theologically impossible for God to also be the Son of God. That would make Proverbs chapter 30 and verse 4 ridiculous. Let that be our first scripture. Turn to that, please. Grab a Bible. See if you can find a blank spot on the screen. You can find one for the Bible? Great. Go to Proverbs chapter 30. and read verse 4.
Proverbs 34, quote, "Who have ascended up into heaven, or descended?
Mhm.
Who have gathered the wind in his fist? Who have bound the waters in a garment? Who have established all the ends of the earth? What is his name? And what is his son's name, if thou canst tell?"
It is not Yahweh ben Yahweh. That scripture tells you that there's a father that has a son. And he descended, and also the son descended down, and also ascended from heaven. Grabbed the winds in his fist, established all the ends of the earth, put water in a garment.
Mm.
God. And then the challenge was brought about at the end of that verse that asks you the name, if thou canst tell. And no one can tell. His name is not Yahweh, neither is Yod-Heh-Wav-Heh. It's an appellation. Only the Son knows the Father's name. And only the Father knows the Son's name. So you cannot tell, can you? The Son's name is most definitely Pope Francis. And it's not Jesus. It's not Greek. The Son's name is not even Yahshua or Joshua. It's not the Son's name. That means the Father's name is not Jesus or Yahshua. The Father's name is most definitely not God. Neither is it Jehovah or Jehovah. It's not. Only the Son knows the Father's name, and the Father knows the Son's name. But when I appeared before my father in 1979, right here in Miami, Florida, in Brownsville, I stood up in front of others, and he called me Mika. He called me Mika. Just like you see I'm wearing. Mika. See, it's a Mika thing that you most certainly cannot understand. He did not call me or name me Michael, although historically, spiritually, the name Mika comes from 7 Hebrew characters, actually 5, 7 positions. And 2 of the 5 are positioned twice. And that means part of the name Mika that he only made mention of is missing, which would be the theophoric extension. It's known as the theophoric extension. The theophoric extension is the same as the tetragrammaton, Yod-Heh-Wav-Heh. So what they did was they cut off the theophoric extension of my spiritual name, my biblical name. So, and then they left you in translation with just Mika. When they cut off from the scrolls that they found Mem, Yod, Kaf, Yod-Heh-Wav-Heh. That's 5 Hebrew characters. And 2 of those 5 are positioned twice, which is Yod and Hey, that creates Yah. So that means that my complete spiritual name, not my celestial name, my spiritual and biblical name is known from right to left, again, as Mem, Yod, Kaf, Yod, Hey, Wav, Hey. 7 position. That means who, in English, who is like Yahweh. Who is like Yahweh, translated into English. I am not, and I repeat, I am not the Michael of Revelation chapter 12.
Wow.
Today I'm bringing some more secrets. Today I'm going to reveal more secrets of what I sealed, and I sealed them to deceive the world, to protect my angels and protect my sheep that are chosen of Israel. Those who are with me here today, they never heard this. That's why I was told by my father to come on and record this in sight of the world to let them know that I am not the Michael of Revelation chapter 12.
Mhm.
Why? Because I am raw. There are several Michaels in the Bible, but I am the Michael of Jude. And in that book, and we're going to show you in a moment so you know the difference. First, I'm going to reveal and also supplement and reiterate that when I came to Mount Auburn and stood before him in 1979, late, he made mention of my name and called me Micah. Now, that's found in Isaiah chapter 49. Would you turn to that, please? Let's go to that. I have a name that no man knew, and I only revealed 5 characters of that. Our idiom of the social lodge are not characters. We do not have Hebrew characters in our idiom. We do not have Hebrew letters or alphabets. We do not have that.
Mhm.
Our Hebrew, celestial Hebrew, far from beyond, are made up of symbols. And each symbol is laden with its own meaning. You have Isaiah chapter 49,
Yeah.
read verse 1.
Isaiah chapter 49, verse 1, quote, "Listen, O owls, unto me."
That's because the gateway that I came out of was created in the islands, in the Isles of the Bahamas. So I returned to those isles and had them at that time from 1999 to 2007 to listen to me. They couldn't hear me. They could only listen. And that's all the islands and keys of the Bahamas. They say geographically it's 700 islands and keys of the Bahamas. This body was positioned and stationed on those islands' capital that's known as Nassau of the Bahamas. And then there was also one that I sojourned on that was free. But most of the slaves journeyed to from Eleuthera, which is another island that means freedom. And those 2 that I came and joined, they joined me, were from Eleuthera. I chose that family to hide myself in incognito. I used them to become part of these terrestrial beings on this planet and to hide incognito in that family. And that family originally, after they landed in Eleuthera from Bermuda by William Sales, Devil's Backbone Rock crashed into that
Mm.
and landed on the island of Eleuthera. So that family of slaves sojourned there. And then eventually spread out on other islands of the Bahamas. Even to this day, one of those is on the island that's free, which is a port, the biggest port of the islands. It's known as Freeport. But I only gave them a little bit of information that all they can do is listen to me, listen all eyes to me. For I came out of a woman's bowels. Read the rest of it.
"And hearken, ye people."
Now, see, only the islands can listen to me, but the people from far, they heard me. They hearkened from far.
Mhm.
That's in Europe and the United States, as well as a few in the countries of Africa, China, Asia. Those who can hear me, they hearken from far. Those in the islands cannot hear me. All they can do is listen, like they're listening now. They have no idea what I'm saying. They think they know me. You do not know me. I am not ordinary. I am not terrestrial. There is no terrestrial being that can reveal what I'm about to reveal today. Symbolically and allegorically, I'm known again as the Lion of the tribe of Judah. I'm not from Judah.
Oh,
I'm of. I sprang out of Judah,
right.
the tribe of which Moses spake nothing concerning priesthood. If that was the case, then that would clash with Judges chapter 17. They didn't know anything of that. Hearken to me. Who? Read it. Read it again.
Hearken, ye people, from far. The
Mhm.
Lord have called me from the womb.
Got it? And though he called me from the womb, that means I could not be in the womb in the Bahamas. The womb that when I was called, that womb landed in Miami of Florida, not in the islands. That means that this body that I come out of that gateway in the Bahamas Islands, it came out right here where he called me from, Miami, 1979, in a hospital that's known as Christian, the Christian hospital in Miami of Florida, way back in the mid 1950s, 1954, according to that Gregorian calendar. Speaking of Gregorian calendar, this is for the record of today's date that this is being recorded, so no one makes an error. Do not make a mistake. This day, according to our celestial calendar, solar, is known as the 17th day of the fourth month. The 17th day of the fourth month, not to be confused with April the 17th. This is our calendar. The 17th day of the fourth month, 6026 of our solar year from Cain. Genesis chapter 4. Again, 6026 of our solar year. 17th day of the fourth month. Now, according to the calendar that's being used to govern this planet today, today is known as Saturday, June 24th. Saturday, June 24th, 2023. 2023 of their calendar. That's 2023 years after I ascended up into the mothership, standing in front of them on a mountain in Galilee, that they know today as Galilee. You can, under your breath, say all you like to yourself or to others that you're watching this with right now, and you can say, I'm insane all you want. You said it before. You said I even had a devil over 2023 years ago. I'm of a devil. I'm possessed. It's fine. You're supposed to do that. If you did not do that, something would be wrong, terribly wrong. I mean, although my Father, my Abba is architect of the universe, if you did not do that, that means he made a mistake in the architectural work of prophecy that he did. And he'll have to get an eraser and erase that and start over again. But we don't have that kind of time. That means he wrote you in it. He wrote you in prophecy, and so did I. That's why I'm revealing today to this planet that I am not the Michael of Revelation. I'm the Lamb of Revelation, but I am not Michael. The Michael of Revelation is the black man. I'm going to prove it and show you. It's in the book. As well as Trump, Hillel, and DeSantis. They're all there. Because Trump called DeSantis. DeSantis didn't call Trump. That's why he called the devil. I'm going to get to it in a few moments. Just be patient. I'm not going to take up too much of your Saturday. Promise you that. I'm still testifying of my awe. He's God. So now that you have that out of the way, read the rest of that, please. He called me. See, God called me.
From the womb.
From the womb.
From the bowels of my mother.
From the bowels who they thought was my mother. He what?
Have he made mention?
He only made mention of my name. And at the time he made mention of my name, the woman was still here in her bowel. She was bowing to a God too, as a Christian woman. B-O-W, bow.
Mm-hmm.
E-L, Elohim, bowing to a God in the church. Bow, the bowel of my mother. Not the womb. It says womb, maybe it's a mistake. Your Bible says bowel or womb?
From the bowels.
From the bowels. Huh?
Yeah.
In plural.
In plural.
She was serving more than one God.
Mm.
She was bowing to more than one God. Babies come out the womb, not the bowels.
Right.
Feces come out of the bowels. Feces. Read verse 2. And now, with all of that, as I walked around those, all right? I was hidden. He hid me in his quiver. He was hiding me. All he knew was Micah. Even as I'm the only one that was with him that took 20 stripes. 40. I received 40 stripes for you, your ignorance. And because of my stripes, you were healed. There are witnesses who can tell you that. I'm the only one that received 40 stripes from a tree branch, just like before 2,000 years ago. Revealing secrets, even disobedience. Disobedient, receiving and revealing secrets, receiving and revealing from others, punished. Read verse 2.
Verse 2.
Mm-hmm.
And he have made my mouth like a sharp sword.
You can't hear it? I didn't make my mouth like that. He made my mouth. Who? God. The mighty God made my mouth like a sharp sword. You can't hear it? If you can't, you'll feel it. And then you'll see it. Go look at the Weather Channel. And then what?
In the shadow of his hand have he hid me.
As I walked through the valley of the shadow of death, he hid me. He hid me all those years. He even told me to leave 1979 the country. And I did. He hid me. In the shadow of his hand. What? The shadow of what? After he came out of prison.
Right.
I was in the shadow of his hand. The hand that he used to write with. His right hand. Even his scepter was in. And what?
And made me a polished shaft. In his quiver have he hid me.
Period. That's verse 2.
Verse 2.
Read verse 3, just to summer it up now. What's verse 3?
And he said unto me,
what?
Thou art my servant, O
really?
Israel, in whom I will be glorified.
You got that? And today I'm using the surname Israel on my identification in the United States. My passport has Israel on it. Yeah. So all you know is that I'm his servant, Israel, because you send your news media here and your secret service agents and your undercover agents, and you see me as Micah Israel. And yet I'm his servant. And you know that. And I'm speaking and testifying of him. Is that what it says? Verse 3?
Verse 3.
There you have it. It's no coincidence. I'm his servant and also the son. I'm his son. And that's celestially, even biologically. Because I have no mother and father of the terrestrial world. You have to study, now you have to study Adam. This is mind-blowing, mind-boggling for a lot, but, I'm not here for sympathy. I'm not here to sympathize on your ignorance and your illiteracy because you didn't study. In order to follow this testimony today, you must be erudite. And there are not 7 steps. Your study is endless.
Endless.
It's not 7 steps. It's not even 9 or 12. Your study should be infinite. That means you should never stop studying.
Never.
The only way you stop studying if God stops existing.
Dang.
Because they have taken so much away from you, Judah, and so much until they gave you their language. And you don't comprehend or understand nothing in the Bible that they have translated from our original Hebrew scrolls. You don't know nothing.
Nope.
Words that you thought you knew, even from their schools, you do not know.
Mhm.
All you know is definitions. The definitionite. That's all you know. The definitionites. And I just created that. Just to let you know that their words I'm not bound to their words. I can create words within their words and make them another meaning.
Mhm.
Keep that meaning a secret and then reveal it on live stream, let you know what it is and what it was not. And then I'll use words that they combined with letters and put them in definition form that they gave to you only in definition in the dictionary, and then take you to the original where it comes from in Hebrew and let you know that's completely opposite what you thought it was. And that's why you're under the impression that I'm Michael of Revelation chapter 12. I am not. I'm the woman. I can't be the woman and Michael.
Right.
Just like my Ab cannot be God, the Father, and the Son. I'm raw. I'm the raw one. I'm opposite of the one in verse 7 of chapter 12. So with that said, write down raw. That means when I reveal this revelation, it was prophesied when I reveal it today that the word raw would be known and seen in the same revelation. Now, you have raw.
Yeah.
R-A-W. Now go to your concordance on the screen. And type in raw. You may have that, you may see it about 6 or 7 times. What do you look for? What happened? R-A-W. Raw. We're going to give you the raw. That's from left to right. What do you have?
You have it occurs 7 times in
7
6
times.
verses.
That's what I thought. But there's only one meaning out of the 7 times.
Mm.
And I guarantee you, all 7 times are in the Old Testament. And the last time you see it is in Samuel. Is that right?
That's right.
What's the first meaning under the reference H?
H 4995.
So what's that? Click on that, and what's that raw mean? Read the verse first. Read that first, the verse. So it should be Leviticus, shouldn't it?
Exodus 12:9.
Exodus 12:9. That's right. Others in Leviticus that refers to food.
Mm-hmm.
This one, Exodus, does not refer to food. It's a hieroglyphic. It's cryptic. It's midrash. It's a secret. Now I'm going to share a secret. What does it say?
Eat not of it raw, nor sodden at all with water.
That's for you. I'm giving you some food now of your daily bread that you're not to eat it raw. But what?
But roast with fire.
Now I'm roasting it with fire.
His head with his legs and with the putenance thereof.
I'm the lamb. I am that lamb that you're going to, I'm roasting it right now and putting the fire in your mind so you can see the difference. Now, look up the raw of that meaning. Click on it. H49 what?
95.
What's it say?
We have simply raw.
That's it.
Mm-hmm. We have a
etymology. What's the etymology?
H5106.
And what is that?
That is to hinder, hold back, forbid.
Right.
disallow, restrain, frustrate.
Now, I'm giving you something to hold back that is going to frustrate you,
Mm.
right? But you're not supposed to do that. You're not supposed to be frustrated and hold back anything. That pertains to me.
Mm.
And I will not be frustrated, neither I'm going to hold back any longer. That's why I say I'm raw.
Mm.
What raw? Now go to the last one in Samuel and read that, and then go. That definition is entirely different. I guarantee you. I'm not looking at it. I already have. I'm part of who revealed it, who sealed it.
Mhm. 1 Samuel 2:15.
That
Quote,
says what?
also before they burnt
That's
the fat.
2:15.
Again,
Read 14. What do you have?
verse 14, quote,
Mm-hmm.
and he struck it into the pan,
Mm-hmm.
or kettle, or cauldron, or pot.
The cauldron. That's the cauldron pot. That's found in Micah chapter, I believe, 4.
Mhm.
The cauldron pot. All of this is cryptic. You have no idea what these mean. Hidden from the devil and his angels
Mm.
and Satan, his angels. So no one would be able to understand this. If you did, our war strategy would be destroyed. It'd be breached. These are all war tactics. War tactics. Strategy.
Yeah.
And that's why it's raw. RAW.
Mhm.
Preserved for WAR in the last days.
Yeah.
Same letters, one from right to left, others from left to right. Same word, different tactics. Oppositionist, the opposite.
Mm.
Read on. What else it says?
All that the flesh hook brought up the priest took for himself.
Right.
So they did in Shiloh until all the Israelites.
Now Shiloh is here.
Okay. Okay.
Genesis chapter 49, verse 10. Shiloh is here. Right? The lawgiver. And now I'm giving you the law. I'm roasting the law for you. Give it to you hot and raw. What else?
That came thither. Verse 15.
Mm-hmm.
Also, before they burnt the fat, the priest servant came and said to the man that sacrificed, give flesh to the roast for the priest, for he will not have sodden flesh of thee, but raw.
Now look that up. Pretty soon, the door should have been locked. But I'm opening it up.
That raw is H24:16.
Not the same, is it?
Mm.
Okay, that means that door is going to be locked now. I mean, whoever comes in came in by grace for this revelation. We'll take care of that later.
And this raw is living, alive.
Hold on now. That's the raw. You're not to take what I'm giving to you raw. That means to be frustrated.
Mm.
Right? You're not to be frustrated
Right.
of that raw. But I'm going to give it to you living. That means this raw is living alive.
Mm-hmm.
I said I'm raw. I'm the one that's living and alive.
Yeah.
Then that means all of those that are with me are living and are alive with my raw.
Mm.
My angels are not a war.
Mm.
They are raw.
Yeah.
Living alive.
Yeah.
You got it?
Yeah.
Okay, now go to Revelation. Chapter 12. By the way, my name is not Micah. Before you do, go to Daniel chapter 12. Read verse 1. I'm called Micah. I'm being called Micah. Even throughout history, I'm the same Micah of the Bible, 33rd book, Old Testament. Same Micah. I'm the same one. When you study Micah, you find out more of who Micah is, as well as who Micah was. He was, still is, and always will be the same as yesterday, today, and forever. The same one. Daniel chapter 12, verse 1.
Daniel chapter 12, verse 1, quote, "And at that time shall Michael stand up, the great prince which standeth for the children of thy people. And there shall be a time of trouble, such as never was since there was a nation, even to that same time. And at that time thy people shall be delivered, every one that shall be found written in the book."
Which Michael is this?
That's the great prince.
The great prince. Throughout the history of this world, there were several Michaels.
Mhm.
Go to your search box of your concordance and type in Michael. I stood before mine Av. I stood in front of him. I stood up facing him on a Wednesday night in late 1979, that year. He called me Mika, made mention of my name, and he still calls me to this very day, Mika. I'm the one, I have a name that no one knew. Only me, only I knew it, and it still isn't complete. You only have 5 symbols I revealed to the world. There's 7 in total. 7. That completes and makes up the 7 angels. All I gave you was Yod Kashimiam. Yod Kaf Shin Mem Mem Sophie. That's all I gave you. You think I'll give it all to you so others will know how to be saved? And then the devils will be able to scrutinize my war tactic,
Mhm.
and then it become a breach in prophecy?
Mm.
No.
Mm.
That's why I walk around freely with Yod Kashimiam on my forehead as you see it. You don't know what the other 2 are, but they're going to be revealed in time. That'll be closer to the very end of the world.
Mm.
There won't be a time for you to do anything of it or about it. What do you have under Michael? How many times?
We have 15 times. and
Okay, so
15
which 50?
verses.
So which 15 am I? The first time is way back in Chronicles someplace.
Numbers.
In Numbers. You have Michael all the way back in Numbers, and that had nothing to do with Joshua, the son of Nun.
Mhm.
And there were others in the 1979, back in those days. That my father named one in particular, Michael. But there were others too he named Michael, but there's one in particular he also named Michael. But it wasn't Michael in English, it was Mikael. That means who is like God.
Mhm.
But which God? See, there are God's many and Lord's many. That's why he named him Michael.
Mhm.
Because there are God's many and Lord's many. He named him Michael, who is like God. But which God? His God.
Right.
Not our God.
Mhm.
I'm the one who's named after Yod-Heh-Wav-Heh.
Right.
They translated Yahweh, but they call it the Theophoric extension. So I would be the one that means who is like Yahweh, and that's what he told him back in those days. That night, that same night, he said, your name means, he said Mika, but yet he says, your name means who is like Yahweh. What happened to Yod-Heh-Wav-Heh, the Theophoric extension? That was for me to know and for them to find out. You got it?
Yeah.
So click on that Michael reference, and what does it take you to? Something 40,
H43:17.
43:17. It means what?
It means who is like God.
Who is like God. Right?
Mhm.
Now go to the others. Now you go to Chronicles, say who's the son of Michael, the son of him, etc. Right?
Yeah.
Then you come to Daniel chapter 12 and verse 1. That bears the same meaning?
You can.
Same meaning. All of Michael's bear the same meaning, except when you get to the New Testament. See if you find one of Michael and Jude.
In Jude, the G34:13.
Read that verse.
Yet Michael, the archangel.
Now you have the archangel. In chapter 12 of Daniel, verse 1, you had Michael the great prince. Now you have Michael the archangel. Is that right?
Yeah.
Okay, and what does it say?
When contending with the devil, he disputed about the body of Moses.
Now that's going on right now. That's a revelation. Why am I disputing about the body of Moses? Because Moses was an appellation. and not a body.
Mm.
My father used it only as an appellation, Moses Israel. And what?
Durst not bring against him a railing accusation, but said, "The Lord rebuke thee."
Now, click on that Greek meaning of Michael and see what they give you. G what?
34:13.
Click on that.
And they have who is like God.
Who is like God?
Mhm. Referring back to,
Etymology?
referring back to the origin, which is Hebrew, H43:17.
Who is like God? Right?
Yeah.
Who is like God? Now, this is a different God, though.
Mm, mm, mm,
Hmm?
yeah.
Go to the same search box, take out Michael. No, don't take it out. Well, you're going to have to because it's spelled differently. Just type in Mika. Now, when you type that in, it should take you to the book. Hmm? What's it say? It's the Greek said the guardian angel of the Israelites. That Michael, right? The guardian angel. It did say Michael, the archangel.
Mm-hmm.
Type in Mika. It's going to probably take you to the book called Mika.
It did.
Okay. And the first verse says Mika the Mercite.
Mm-hmm.
Does it has a reference next to Mika the Mercite? Or just Mika?
It does.
Click on that.
Wow.
Different meaning, isn't it? Different reference, isn't it?
Yeah. Which says,
What's that say?
it says, "Who is like God?"
Keep on. Etymology.
Okay, now we have H43:20.
Mhm.
Same thing.
Who's like God?
Okay.
You don't see what's going on? Go back to the search box. Type in name was Mika. So that'll take you to Judges chapter 17. Name was Mika of Mount Ephraim. Learn from this. I'm revealing secrets. Learn from this so you can see how you've been deceived.
Only place in the Bible. Judges
It's
17.
Judges 17, 1. The only place.
Only place.
Click on that.
That one is H43:21.
Same reference.
No, it's actually different.
Click on it.
Same meaning.
Same meaning. That says what?
Who is like God?
Who is like God. Right? Okay. Now, you have another, that means they connected Mika to Michael in the Bible. One of the world's greatest deceptions. They want you to think that Mika and Michael is the same one. Same meanings. They're separable. You have a dictionary up there? Find another link. If you have used that one, but if you want to erase none that's already up there, you can take out a concordance, go to your dictionary. Now type in Mika. Actually type in the meaning of Mika. Let Michael, do Michael first. Michael, the meaning of Michael in the dictionary now. That's why we told you in the beginning of this testimony to grab your dictionaries.
Okay, we have on the dictionary.com, we have Michael is a gender neutral name of Hebrew origin, meaning who resembles God.
Who resembles God.
Right. Who resembles God.
Now I go back and type in Mika. Did it give you a Wikipedia?
Yeah,
If not,
we have a Wikipedia.
What's it say in the Wikipedia?
It says Michael is a usually masculine given name derived from the Hebrew phrase Mikael, who is like El.
Who is like El.
Yeah.
Right. Now here we are again with another L, which could be any L.
Mhm.
Now go back and type in Mika and see what we have there.
Wow.
Now what do you have?
Origin Hebrew meaning who resembles God.
Uh-huh.
They said Mika is a variation of Michael.
Right. Isn't that what I'm testifying to you and saying?
Mhm.
What else? Wikipedia.
Wikipedia says
That's the dictionary. Now, what Wikipedia saying?
Mika is the name of several people in the Hebrew Bible, Old Testament, and means who is like God.
Mm-hmm.
And they also say the name is sometimes found with the theophoric extensions.
Wait a minute. It's also found with the theophoric extension. Read on that what?
Suffix theophory in Yah and in Yahweh results in Micaiah and Mikayahu.
Mm-hmm.
Hebrew Mikayahu,
But that's what
meaning
they're going to
who
put.
is like Yahweh.
Right. Now you can research, go back to Michael, do the same thing. It's not going to take you back to who is like Yahweh.
It didn't have that at all. Not for Michael.
But it's telling you that Mika is shortened from a theophoric extension that means who is like Yahweh, just as I testified. So there's two different entities, two different beings.
Yeah.
One celestial, the other terrestrial. You got it?
Yeah.
One is of and from the celestial lodge, and the other is of and from the terrestrial lodge, where Hillel lodged on the planet, and where he lodges today. That means this particular Mikael would lodge with Hillel. It would be his angel. As Yahweh would have his angel, the servant. Two different. But both of the dark skin complexion of Yehuda.
Wow.
One would even identify himself as being black,
Mm-hmm.
as the other would identify himself as being bronze in skin complexion. One would not dye his hair black to be black, but the other will dye his hair completely black, jack black, to be black, to be distinguishable from the other. Although both appeared in front of Yod-Heh-Wav-Heh, or Moses Israel.
It's crazy.
Do you hear what I'm saying? Okay, so with that said, now go to Revelation. Leave your dictionary. You're going to leave your dictionary. Go to Revelation and chapter 12. Revelation, you can take that off and use that link.
We got a Bible.
Okay. Revelation chapter 12. Look at verse 1. Because you're going to need your recordings now again.
Revelation chapter 12, verse 1, quote, and there appeared a great wonder in heaven.
See, that great heaven, that great wonder in heaven, that great is the same great of Daniel chapter 12, verse 1. 12:1. And the reason why it was segmented and placed in 12, although it was sealed, because some scholars figured out that it's connected to Daniel 12, as well as the 12 tribes of Israel, one for each crown on the head that you're about to read. The 12 crowns. Read it.
A woman clothed with the sun and the moon.
That's the sun. Mm-hmm.
And the moon under her feet.
That moon is Mem and Nun Sophie, but the double zero to become 8. That's not a word, it's a symbol. Mem, the double zero, as the 8 laying down on the surface of the planet, descended, double zero, and Nun Sophie, Nun. You think it's moon. It's cryptic, but sealed. How could the moon be under her feet even if it literally or symbolically it cannot be. Who named it moon anyway? We did not name it moon. They did. It's another planet. It's closer to this planet.
Mm-hmm.
That's the closest planet to this planet. And you see it, and it revolves around this planet like a giant space station.
Mm-hmm.
Moving, it moves.
Mm-hmm.
What else you have?
And upon her head a crown of 12 stars.
There it is. 12. Chapter 12. What else?
Verse 2.
Verse 2.
And she being with child cried.
That child that she's with is Yehuda, crying to deliver Yehuda back to their homeland. What? Cry what?
Travailing in birth and pain to be delivered.
Right. Pain right now to be delivered out of this hell of North America, the United States, with this child, Judah, to return to the 12 crowns, 12 stars. What else?
Verse 3.
Mm-hmm.
And there appeared another wonder in
Now
heaven.
that separates the woman, verse 3, because there's another wonder. And what's this wonder?
And behold, a great red dragon.
The great red dragon. What?
Having 7 heads and 10 horns.
That's the administration. I went over that before.
Mm-hmm.
Even with the U.S., the dollar bills, the money, the
All
currency.
the way down.
So you must comprehend in your mind now that verse 1 and 2 has nothing to do with 3.
Mm-hmm.
That's another wonder.
Mm-hmm.
Are you with me?
Yeah.
Now read the verse. As you finish with that verse, 3.
Low. And 7 crowns upon his heads. Verse
Yes.
4.
No, we don't need 4.
Yeah.
Go to 7.
Verse 7. Quote. And there was war in heaven. Michael and his angels fought against the dragon, and the dragon fought and his angels.
Now, since this was sealed, actually was discovered on scrolls by the theologians in history of Europe, even those that are watching this video, whether it be YouTube or Facebook or a recording, live stream or recording, they all thought that they could decipher this mystery. Even made movies. Hollywood. I want you to pause here for a moment, and those who have joined us, put a marker here in your Bible. Turn to Revelation chapter 5. Just go back to chapter 5 now and read verses 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Read that.
Revelation chapter 5, verse 1, quote,
Mm-hmm.
And I saw in the right hand of him that sat on the throne a book written within on the backside, sealed with 7 seals.
This book was already written on the backside, so I'm going back to get it. That was already sealed with 7 seals to loose it. That's on the backside. Now we're in the front. But I got to take you back to loose it on the backside. And we're now in the front of it, facing the end of it. Prophetical, the last days. And what?
Verse 2.
Mm-hmm.
And I saw a strong angel proclaiming with a loud voice.
Who is worthy to open this book and to loose the seals thereof? Even 7 of them. Only the 7 angels can do it. 1 angel for each seal. All in the body of 1 man. 1 being, celestial being. Even by the power of his name. Read it.
Verse 3.
Mm-hmm.
And no man in heaven.
Do you comprehend what you just read? Begin with no. What?
Nor in earth.
No man in heaven, nor in earth.
Neither under the earth.
Even those who went in the submarine couldn't do it. In the Atlantic Ocean, North Atlantic Ocean, trying to find out the seals of the Titanic. Couldn't do it. They even went up in space trying to do it. Can't do it. In heaven, went up in the space shuttles and rockets trying to go up in heaven to find, see if they can find, discover what's going on up there. Couldn't do it. And they came back down to earth, went to scholar schools and theological schools, biblical. Couldn't do it. Went underwater, Jacques Cousteau, looking for secrets under the water, the ocean. Couldn't do it. They followed what they call UFOs, splashing in the ocean, going down trying to find where they are, the submarines. Couldn't do it. They cannot do it.
Mm-hmm. Cannot.
Read that part again. That means no man what?
And no man in heaven, nor in the earth,
nor in the earth,
neither under the earth, was able to open the book.
It didn't say worthy. They were not able to open the book. They couldn't even open the book.
Mm-hmm.
They found the scrolls and couldn't open them. Neither to look thereon.
Neither to look thereon.
And because of that, they started crying because they were being defeated of the knowledge and mysteries of the Bible and of the cosmos, of celestial beings from another planet. They started crying because they couldn't figure out what's going to happen in the last days. So they started crying. Even those who were with the Yehuda and Israel, they started crying because they need to know what the mystery is, what's going to be the results of the last days. So someone said, what? Weep not. Read verse 4 in its entirety.
Verse 4. And I wept much, because no man was found worthy to open and to read the book, neither to look thereon. Verse 5.
Verse 5.
And one of the elders said unto me, Weep not. Behold, the Lion of the tribe of Judah, the root of David, hath prevailed to open the book and to loose the 7 seals thereof.
Don't you know? Okay. Read that last line again.
To loose the 7 seals.
Before that, who? The root who?
The root of David have prevailed to open the book.
And to loose the seals thereof.
And to loose the 7 seals thereof.
So, according to what you're reading in English translation, only the one who's known as the root of David
only one
can open this book and loose the seals thereof. Is that what you just read?
That's exactly what I just read.
Now, you still have your marker on chapter 12. Now go to the last chapter, 22. And read verse 16. Let's see who the root of David is.
Revelation 22, verse 16, quote, I, the Christ.
Read it verbatim so we can get the Christians involved in this too.
Okay.
We want the Christians involved in this. We want Pope Benedict and Pope Gregory. We want Pope Francis and John. We want them all. John Paul, we want them all. Come out of your graves and get a hold of this. Pope Joe Biden. We want Pope Donald Trump and DeSantis, all the popes, to get a hold of this revelation right now. What? Read it verbatim.
I, Jesus, have sent mine angel to testify.
One angel he sent, which was himself, one of the 7 spirits of these things in the churches. That one angel even went as Micah, one of the 2 witnesses. To what?
To testify unto you these things in the churches.
Your own churches, as you open your Bible every Sunday, as those who go to church, to testify to you from this Bible in your church. As he also say what? I am the root. I am the root. I was here before David, and I'm the one who revealed Dowd in 2019. I'm the only one who revealed Dowd. And then Dowd disappeared again recently. Underwater. That's why I revealed it yesterday. I had to get Dowd out of the way so I can come today and reveal Revelation chapter 12 and verse 7 and 8 and 9. I am the root and the offspring of Dowd, and I'm also the bright and morning star. Do you hear me?
Can. Praise you.
Okay. Now go back to chapter 12. Now we see who it is that can loose this book
Mm-hmm.
and the seals.
Yeah.
The root of David. Now, I'm not looking for anyone to believe, abound, or follow the belief of this at all. I can care less. I was told by my Ab to come on this morning today and do this for a reason. Whatever reason there is, he knows. Because as I've said so many times before, I don't like or enjoy coming on live stream at all, whether it be Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, a gram without an Insta, or Twitter, or TikTok. I don't even like coming out and speaking in front of you in the morning. You know that. But it's prophetical, and I'm being obedient, and I have to do that
Mm-hmm.
for a reason. Now go back to, since we're now on the same page, go back to verse 7 of chapter 12.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, what do you have?
Verse 7, quote, and there was war in heaven.
There was war. I'm not war. I'm raw. I'm opposite. I'm the one that's alive. I'm lively, and those who are with me are lively.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
There was war in heaven. That means the war was, what date that was when they came to Miami? That's the 1st, June 1st, when someone had to go to federal court in this county to enter a plea of not guilty.
Yeah.
That was June 1st.
So I think it was.
June 1st, 2023. And here we are, June 24th, 2023. That has now become a was to be fulfilled. I'm loosing the seal of the was. Are you hearing me?
Yeah.
Okay. Was war. WAR in heaven. Do you have your concordance? Type in war. You typed in raw, right? We got raw.
Mm-hmm.
Now go to opposite, because I'm the opposite. The oppositionist against the opposite.
Mm-hmm.
Go to find see, my Ab is a man of war.
Mm-hmm.
So that's Numbers 23:19, I believe. See if you see war in Numbers 23:19. No? Exodus. We'll go to Exodus. 23:19 is what?
They don't have it.
But it has another meaning.
Mm-hmm. Again, Exodus 15:3.
It's what?
The Lord is a man of war.
Mm-hmm.
The Lord is his name.
Click on that war on the H what?
44:21.
To begin with Mem. What does that say?
Battle, war.
Battle and war.
Again,
Any etymology?
H3898.
What's the etymology of that word that's now translated into English? That comes from Mem. How you pronounce it?
Lakam.
Okay.
And it means to fight, do battle, make war, to engage in battle, wage war, to eat, use as
to
food.
Eat. War, which is opposite, which is raw. See the cryptic meanings? Opposite. Hidden in war, backwards, raw. That I gave you earlier. See, I'm raw.
Yeah.
Hidden in war. As my Ab is a man of. In Hebrew. Now go back out of that and go to the Greek in Revelation chapter 12 and see what that war is in Greek.
Yeah, confirmation that Trump
On the 12th.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't the 1st.
Yeah.
June 12th. Okay. It's not a coincidence. It's 12. I left off the 2. I said June 1st. Okay. 12. Isn't it interesting? He came on the 12th
Yeah.
Right.
as a Revelation 12.
Revelation 12.
Must be a coincidence.
Mm-hmm.
12. June 12. What do you have now?
In Revelation 12:7, we have war under G4170.
And what's it mean?
A war, a fight, a dispute.
Wait now. Keep a fight, a dispute, What else?
Strife,
strife,
a quarrel,
a quarrel.
a battle.
Okay, we don't want the battle, but you can use battle because that's what it means in English.
Mm-hmm.
But here is in verse 7 of Revelation chapter 12, there's a Michael, right,
Mm-hmm.
who has angels that are having a what? Read that again.
A war.
They're having, no, we know war.
Mm-hmm.
So you don't have to read war. That's what got us here.
Okay, we'll go straight to 3. A dispute.
But the meaning, now we're having a dispute.
Mhm.
So there's a Michael and his angels that are having a dispute.
Mhm.
What?
Strife,
A strife,
quarrel.
a quarrel,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Okay.
Against someone else.
Mm.
Now go back to the verse and see what this strife, quarrel, and dispute is with what? With his angels. Read that.
And there was war in heaven.
Uh-huh.
Michael.
There
and-
was a dispute, a strife, and
Quarrel.
a quarrel
Mhm.
in heaven.
Mhm.
But this is a same heaven. Because we don't get to the new heaven until chapter 21.
Right.
That heaven is also in the mind.
Mhm.
That what?
Michael and his angels.
Now, see, this Michael has his angels.
Mm.
And all of his angels are with him. They're having the same dispute, quarrel, and strife.
Mm.
A dispute. Right?
Mhm.
They what?
Fought against the dragon.
They fought against the dragon. Right?
Mm.
And
And the dragon fought and his angels.
the dragon fought and his angels, but they didn't fight against his angels.
Right. So this.
But Michael and his angels fought against the dragon.
Right.
And the dragon fought and his angels.
Right.
But that means that for thousands of years, they thought that this Michael was me.
Mhm.
And I was fighting against the dragon. Right? Because you knowing me, you know I don't like the dragon, so I'm going to fight against the dragon. But I'm not going to bring my angels into the fight because they may get hurt. But you didn't think of that. I can fight alone. I can fight by myself, but not alone. Because my Ab is the man of war.
Mhm.
He will fight for me against the dragon. I can fight by myself, but not alone. I let my Ab fight that war for me because he's the man of war. I'm not.
Mm.
I am not the man of war. My Father is the man of war. So he fights for us,
Right.
his war, and uses nature to do it with.
Mhm.
Burn up a couple of folks, drown up a couple of folks, blow them away with tornadoes and whirlwinds and hurricanes, ice and hail, beat up a couple of folks and hurt them real bad up in Colorado with hail. I don't have to do anything like that. But this particular Michael and his angels, they got to fight. They have a war against the dragon. The first thing you think was, that's me. I'm fighting against the dragon. Oh, no. So you haven't studied against.
Mm.
The only against that you studied or know is the one in your dictionary. go to your dictionary and type in against.
Okay, we have against,
What you have?
in opposition to.
What? Isn't that about right?
Mhm.
So the first thing come to your mind is here is Michael, who's the oppositionist against Trump,
Mhm.
the dragon. And he's going to fight against Trump and his angels.
Mm.
Hell no, I'm not. I don't have to do that. I let Michael do that and his angels.
Mm.
I'm going to let Michael, the black man, and his angels fight against Trump.
Yeah.
Because that's what I wrote and sealed. It's prophetical.
Mhm.
But when I wrote it and sealed it, it wasn't in English to give you that meaning. When I wrote it and sealed it, it was in Hebraic. We don't have any Hebrew words that begin with A.
Mhm.
We don't. So you got to go to the Hebrew word that begins with Aleph that makes up that A with the L for God. Now you got to go to your search box and type in against, not the dictionary.
Right, concordance.
Yeah, go to your concordance and look for H413. So you can see the A of the L for against, as Cain came against Abel,
Mm.
as he rose up against Abel.
Yeah.
So you get the true meaning of against, and why I have to have Kara here with me today. Kara. Kara. You got against?
We have against.
Should took you to Genesis chapter 4, verse 8. Shouldn't take you that long.
Pull it up. Genesis 4:8. Mm-hmm.
Now click on, you see H413?
Yeah.
4, the foundation, as in 13 with Mem.
Mm-hmm.
And click on it and tell me what you have. See, what you thought is against is not. This Michael in Revelation chapter 12, verse 7 is not against him as you thought. He is toward him. He is also unto him of motion. He is also in addition to him, Trump,
Mm-hmm.
and his angels.
Mm-hmm.
Is that what you see?
That's exactly what we see.
You also see that this angel, this Michael and his angels are within Trump. They are two within Trump, and even an idea of motion to Trump, to the dragon. Right? They are also in regard to the dragon, and they are there to be in concern with what he is doing and what they call him for of that indictment. And they are there to support him on account of. That's number 6. Why? Because it's a rule of standard for them as blacks for Trump. In his direction, the direction of Trump. Not necessarily physical motion, because they wasn't going to cause any violence,
Mm-hmm.
but they were there in the direction of toward Trump. And El. Now come out of that and go back to Genesis chapter 15, verse 10. Right? That should take you to H7125.
Mm-hmm.
Now, when that takes you to 7125, you have Kara, that will bring Michael and his angels that you thought was against Trump, the dragon, to meet him there at the courthouse, federal courthouse. They are to meet him at the federal courthouse to befall that which going to be happening in the last days
Mm-hmm.
with the dragon, to also have an encounter with others as they hold up their signs, Black for Trump. You got it? Let's show you that for a moment as we pause here for a moment because we're not done. Go to the Instagram that you should have on the screen. Let's take a look at that. And that way you'll know why he's the black man. And by the way, that's Mikael and not Mika. You have it? Click on that. And wait, before you do, look at the headline. See if you see Raw.
First thing up there.
Do you see Raw?
First thing.
Okay, well, that's Raw. That's war backward. That's not me. Click on it. Let's look at that for a moment. Blacks for Trump. That's Michael and his angels that fought against. Michael and his angels war against. There was war in heaven. Michael's angels against the dragon. They take it up for the dragon. They are toward the dragon and they're meeting the dragon there. They are meeting him there. See, now these are his angels that are with him. They're holding up signs too, and they're going to chant. They're with Trump. They're with the dragon. Now we're going to get to that in a moment. We're going to get to that. Go ahead. You got it?
Okay. Courthouse downtown Miami.
Hey, thanks for Trump.
It's Trump because nobody else would come. And when we finally got out there, we made all our brothers and sisters come out and support the greatest president in America's history.
Courthouse, including some of the president's most vocal supporters. And that's where we find Miami correspondent Leonardo Feldman in the middle of it all. Good morning to you, Leo.
Good morning, Sean, Emma. That's right. Well, I'm right here with several of his supporters. This is the organization Blacks for Trump, and I'm actually going to ask him why they decided to come here today ahead of Trump's first court appearance after he was federally indicted. Thank you so much for being here with us. Tell me a little bit about why you guys decided to come to the courthouse here in Miami.
We came here to defend Trump like the immortals defended King Cyrus, and they had the mask on that was made of brass with them thick noses and thick lips. They were black men. And that's for the purpose of showing that Trump is not a colonizing racist like Cyrus was not. So I'm the ultimate black supremacist in their mind, which is a lie. Trump is supposed to be the ultimate white racist, which is both a lie. But when we stand together, it cancels that lie out because these are real black people here. You understand? And we are warriors, and we are standing for Trump.
Did you hear it? They're warriors.
And all of them out there helping us go against DeSantis because they're always trying to please me, they say. Because you know why? I'm the real black man. So we are the Elamites. We're going to make sure that they know that this guy here was put in by Biden and money was given to him by Biden's SBA thing, which is a conflict of interest, which they're now trying to claim that Trump's judge is a conflict of interest because he placed her in, so that's a conflict of interest. So what, you want to have a Democrat judge? So that's why I'm here to point out the discrepancies in the lies and how much of a conflict of interest they have and how everything is a double standard. I'm here to point that out, and I'm here to make sure that Trump becomes the president.
And tell me a little bit about the charges. What do you think about the charges that he's facing?
The charges are all fake. Top secret means that the secrets are held for the top. The top man is the president. He can disclose it or declassify whenever he feels like. He can just think he's doing it according to their law. But yet, they're trying to say that he doesn't have a right to do that. You know why? Because he's a real white, deplorable Gentile. The Canaanites like Mitch McConnell.
Where are you guys coming from, too?
And all of those little bastards like that, they think that only they have rights. Trump has rights. My point to them is give me liberty or give them death.
Thank you so much. So there you heard it. These are some of his most vocal supporters. These are the Blacks for Trump, and there are plenty of other supporters around. As you can see them, they're very excited to see him here, but they want to show support ahead of his first court appearance. Back to you.
All right, Leo Feldman, reporting
Okay.
live. Leo, thank you very much.
That's enough. We're going to take so much of that. I'm not done yet. Go back to the verse, chapter 12, verse 7, Revelation. All right. Now we've proven that this is an encounter. Don't forget, this is for you. Did you hear him say that, warriors?
Mhm.
Okay. Now you see that against means they're also to encounter with Trump,
Mhm.
right? That's against. But you have, that's H7125. That right?
Yeah.
Now go to H5048 of the God. All of this is against. Don't forget. Read that verse again in chapter 12, verse 7, Revelation.
Revelation 12:7 quote, and there was war in heaven. Michael and his angels fought against the dragon.
Okay, that's enough. Right now, we're going to do a little time. That was June 12th, 2023. That's why now it was. When I reveal this in the last days, it will become a was. You got it? Now, against, this is the subject, that's the word. We find against also in H5048 in Hebraic. That's also in Revelation and Genesis chapter 21 and verse 16. You see it?
Yeah.
Click on that. It takes you to none. Begin with none. And what you have is what is conspicuous, even on social media and on the news media. He stood right in front of here, the news media, and went straightforward with his conversation on what they're there for, straightforward, in sight of the whole world, in front of oneself, himself, is identifying himself as, I'm the true black man. Right before your face, in your view, for the purpose, right there. You see it? You follow me?
Mm-hmm.
And he was also corresponding to Donald Trump in front of the news media, in sight and the presence of the news media in the whole world, which is in front of and the opposite of why he was there for others, even at a distance. As far as the front of, you can see them all there. Michael and his angels. They fought, that's against the dragon. So you thought it was against his opposition. No. Because you think in English. It's not English. It was originally sealed in Hebraic. You got it?
Yeah.
Now you got to go back to H5921 that you'll find in Genesis chapter 40. 3 times against. This is H5921 that you again find under air with a different meaning. Because now you're on the ground of, and according to, and on account of, on behalf of Donald Trump. You got it? 5921. Let's go. Keep up now. You have it?
Yeah.
Don't you see he was there on behalf of Donald Trump? Against? You thought it was against. No, it's on behalf of.
Mm-hmm.
Look at the first meaning. Upon, on the ground of, according to Donald Trump, on account of Donald Trump, on behalf of Donald Trump, the blacks for Trump, concerning beside, in addition to them. Why? Together with him. Above, over, by, on, to, towards, to, and there you have against. You thought it was against. Not only that, but by adjoining with him, next to him. Don't you see it?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Right next to him. even brought up Cyrus, have no idea what those words mean. Now you have H6440 in Exodus under Panim, which is the face of, right in his face. And finally, let's go to the Greek meaning. Against has so many different meanings in English. Not only that, you but also understand that against spelled from left to right in English, against. The root word of against is a gain.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
A gain. So that means again. A gain, even gaining. So now when you look at Revelation, which is the last column, number 28, and you look for against in Hebrew, or where that was originally in Hebrew that we read, now they took it to the Greeks. The Greeks took it upon themselves to add their own Greek meaning. And then you're going to find G 2596 in Revelation chapter 12, verse 7, to let you know that they're going toward, not against, but toward Trump, and according to him.
According to it. Wow.
Kata. Got it?
Yeah.
Now go back to verse 12. Actually, verse 7. Chapter 12. You have Michael and his angels fought against the dragon. Now that we got that out of the way, they wasn't fighting against him as you thought. They were fighting with him and for him.
Mm-hmm.
And then what did the dragon do?
And the dragon fought in his angels.
Now the dragon was not fighting Michael.
Mm-hmm.
They were fighting the judicial system of the federal courts while they were in court making their plea. You got it?
Got it.
And prevailed not, neither was their place found any more in heaven, because it's not necessary anymore, because the plea has already been entered. After that day, it wasn't necessary. Now you go to verse 9. Read verse 9.
And the great dragon was cast out, that old serpent.
Stop. I don't have to sit here. I'm not going to waste much more of your time because we're about to end this testimony. But those with common sense know what kind of that Donald Trump is. Only those that are with him, only his angels will speak good of Donald Trump. Only his angels. The most wicked being in existence from the Social Lodge. Mm-hmm. Don't forget, he came from the Social Lodge. Mm-hmm. Hillel, also known in the Bible as Lucifer, Isaiah chapter 14, verse 12. Mm-hmm. Verse 12.
Verse 12.
He's a liar and he's wicked. A manipulator. He's also deceiving. He convinced his followers and angels that he's all right. He's good. Most of his speeches are on teleprompter anyway. He cannot speak for himself. He have angels behind him that supports him and teaches him how to talk and speak and how to walk. He can't do that on his own. So we know those who are the angels of and myself, we know we're the opposite. We know who he is. Mm-hmm. And that's why he wants to make America great again, which is fine. But he don't have to, because America is always great. Read the first line of verse 9.
And the great dragon.
The great dragon. He is the greatest symbol of politician right now that's known in the whole world. Mm-hmm. Donald Trump with many different hats or heads, which includes a billionaire and a businessman, a golfer, many different heads. But he was cast out. Out of what? Out of the election of 2020. Cast out. He was also cast out for other people to see him now as he is.
Mhm.
Okay. And after the comma, the great dragon was cast out. That who?
That old serpent.
He is the same old serpent from Genesis chapter 2. Actually, chapter 3.
Mhm.
The same soul. The great dragon, that old serpent. And that's where he ends. Because what he did was he called the devil during the campaign. Read it. Read from the beginning again.
And the great dragon was cast out. That old serpent.
He called the devil. He's not called the devil.
Mhm.
In fact, you go to your concordance, click in the word call there. In Greek. So you would think that he's being called the devil because I call you an insulted name. Right?
Mhm.
That's why you stupid. Right? What you mean? Why you call me stupid? That's what I mean, in layman's terms.
Mhm.
Why you call me stupid? What is the difference between why you call me stupid or call me on the phone? Call me tonight around 8:30 so I can tell you something. See the different means of call?
Mhm.
You may have to go get another box and go in the definition dictionary and Google and type in call to see what the meaning is.
Google first.
Do the Google first. Type in call in past tense. Type in called. All right?
Mhm.
What do you have?
We have cry out, a word or words.
Okay. That's what you would think. He's called cry out in words or words. Huh? And what else? Cry out to someone. What else?
Okay, they have the past simple and past participle of call, to give someone or something a name or to know or learn.
No, I want you to go. You got call definition?
Yeah.
Dictionary.com, the Oxford Language Dictionary, languages. You should have on the second bullet, you should have cry out to someone in order to summon them or attract their attention. Excuse. Go back to call definition.
We have that.
Look at the second bullet.
We have it on the dictionary.com.
Cry out to someone in
To speak
parentheses.
loudly as to attract attention, shout, cry.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Mhm.
That's the call. He wasn't called the devil by an appellation. He called the devil on the phone.
Mhm.
That devil
They
be
have it on the here. They have to telephone or to try to telephone a person.
right. That's the call. He called the devil. And he called the devil as DeSantis, which is Satan. And he called him during campaign. Now, that means you're going to have to do what? You got to go to YouTube and see what the call was. Right? Go to your search box in YouTube. Right? Okay. And you should come to, in fact, you could even
Search box or rapid.
search box.
Okay, we have up there already saved Trump called Governor DeSantis.
Right. You got that? And if you look hard, now you can do this on your own, but if you look hard, I also found one that Trump called DeSantis the devil. It's under Trump's latest attack on DeSantis. You can do this on your own. My commandment this morning, today, was to reveal to the planet Earth the mysteries and loose the seal of Revelation chapter 12. Some of it in verses 1, 2, 7, 8, and 9. Not only did Trump call DeSantis the devil, he also called him Satan.
Hey. Watch a little video.
Watch a little bit of it if you like, huh? You can see it during the campaign speeches. You can do this on your own. I don't have to. I already did. I'm giving you the revelation. Now that means what? Now you got to go to. Yeah, go ahead. It's okay. You can play it. Play that if you like. Call it. Play it.
Yeah. It says
What does it say?
that it was altered to include Hitler, George Soros,
Exactly.
and the devil
Right.
in his latest swipe against the Florida governor.
That's right. He called him the devil.
God,
You thought that the great dragon was called the devil? No.
right after you revealed him.
The great dragon called the devil. And he called him Satan. He called Satan.
Right after you revealed him.
DeSantis. That's right. D-E, the devil, and S-A-N, Satan. I go back to your strong concordance and type in called so you can see the difference. And get the shock of your life that call and against is the same. Under H7122, Qadar. That's why Qadar had to be here today. I named him Qadar for a reason. Everyone who's with me today has a name that follows prophecy because that's who they are. I use their names to seal prophecy and brought them back with me the last days so everyone would be here. Even, everyone. Charity, mercy, the face, the mouth. Sarai and Sharia. Everyone's here with me. Zephaniah, Ben Shai, and Daniel. I promised Daniel. I'll show you the last days what these mean. Everyone's here with me. Some left. Why? They were prophesied to leave. They're the ones who's going to die. Told them not to leave. Right, they didn't believe me. They don't believe. See, all those who do not believe, Revelation 21:8. But those that believe on me shall not perish, but have everlasting life.
Yeah.
If I say, if it comes out of my mouth it's going to happen, it is going to happen. And if I say, if you don't come to me, you're going to die, you are going to die, and there's no life after death. Ezekiel chapter 18, verse 32. My God is not the God of the dead. My Father is not the God of the dead, but of the living. If you think all of those that you saw that died and you're going to see again, you greatly are making a grave mistake. You don't have to die. You don't have to, but you have too much pride to come to me. You don't want others to say, I told you so. And you don't want others to see you come. Why are you going to Mika? You let Mika deceive you like that? Don't you study on your own? Don't you know New Jerusalem is going to come down? That Yahweh Ben Yahweh going to bring it back and going to sit right here in America? 1,500 square miles. Square? Have no idea what that means. Do you have it?
We have called. The first place we see it is Genesis 1:5.
Click on it.
And 871:21.
Click on it and see if it don't take you the same thing as called, as he did against. What do you have?
To call.
Qadar?
Kara. To call out, to recite, to read, proclaim, to summon, invite.
Right.
Yeah.
As they were called to that federal courthouse building. I am not Michael of the book called Revelation. The black man is that my father called him Michael when he came in 1979, 1980. for a reason. My father knew who everyone was that came before him, and he knew who they are and is today. Got it?
Yeah.
That's why he told me to study my name. And by saying that, what he was merely doing was waking me up to pull the name out of my box that only I knew, according to Revelation chapter 19, verse 12. Verse 12. Again, there's that 12 again. That I have a name that no man knew, only me myself. Now, you never saw this name, part of it that's on my forehead right now. Do you hear what I'm saying? Are you hearkening? Are you listening?
Yeah.
What do you prefer? Now you got the mystery?
Yeah.
Michael and his angels fought against the dragon.
Yeah.
And the dragon and his angels fought against the United States government. And the great dragon was cast out, that old serpent. But what he did was call the devil and call him Satan, who's running for governor. Right? He was cast out into the earth and going from city to city campaigning, deceiving. The angel was cast out with him, deceiving the whole world.
Great.
As if he's great. And yet he's the devil himself. He's the old dragon, the great dragon himself, the old serpent. And then he had the nerve to say, I saw this on film recently, if we don't grab hold, take back America in this next campaign, then America's doomed to hell. He already knows that because it's prophetical.
Right.
It doesn't matter if he's president or not.
Right, exactly.
America the Great is going to fall anyway. But he wants you to feel that he can make a change of that. So if he's not voted in, it's going to fall. So he can say, I told you it's going to fall. That is prophetical. It doesn't matter who's going to be president.
Right.
If there be another Pharaoh,
Right.
America's going to fall. And I'm the only one who have the stilts to hold it up if I want to, and I'm not. You killed and murdered too many of my people. Got to get rid of it. Not flood this time, but this time by fire, by my spaceships that are on there here. They're not on the way. My spacecrafts are here, parked and waiting. Some of my crafts are so powerful until they can go underwater and be parked and wait. And fire still come out underwater. I don't have nothing else to say. I've done my commandment that my father told me to do today.
Praise you.
And I revealed it.
Hallelujah.
Praise you. And by the way, today is Shabbat until sundown. This is our Shabbat. From sundown Friday to sundown Saturday. That's not because we're honoring what the Jews did. Our Sabbath rotates. Just for information before we sign off, next year, if there'll be one in this country, sometime around March 11th will be the beginning of our next year. And then our Sabbath rotate. It will rotate from sundown Saturday to sundown Sunday. It rotates every year. Why? Because their calendar rotates. Our days rotate. The planet revolves around the sun and rotates on its own axis. The sun don't revolve around the planet. That means our Sabbath must obey the sun and rotate.
And rotate.
Praise you.
Praise you.
I wish you well. I really do. My people, come. You better come. Stock up on your food and your water. This summer, it hadn't even started yet. You think it's hot. I already prophesied months ago it's going to be in 3 digits this summer. Some states already experiencing 3 digits of heat. It's just warming up. You haven't gotten to the peak of it yet. You're not going to get into the peak until August. And there's some kidnappings that are going to happen too. There's some kidnapping. There are some men and women that are plotting right now against the United States government. They are plotting right now for a coup. I told you that a few years ago. Better take heed, United States government. Don't come get me. I don't want no part of your government. No part of it. I have my own. I come from the government de jure.
Right.
Not de facto. Anyway, stay safe, Yehuda. I'm speaking to my people now. Stay safe if you can. I love you, Anakia Hab, so much. I got to shake my head because you won't come. Praise you.
Praise you.
that's